Hey everyone, it's Harry from Slap Your Daddy BBQ, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I did my smoke fire torture test video number 2 where I cooked about 65-70 pounds of meat on the smoke fire in an extended torture test, cooking them for 12 hours. One of the briskets I made on that episode was my LA or Los Angeles style brisket. I got a lot of questions from you as to, Harry, what the hell is the Los Angeles style brisket? In this episode, I'm going to share with you my little riff on a Los Angeles style brisket. I cook it for my friends and family, and sometimes for catering and for parties where I take kind of a traditional style brisket. I do my little LA style riff on it using some ingredients typically found in LA like chile, like a paprika. We have some sriracha, some soup mix, and some chile like a Tajin. So we're going to show you guys in this episode how we do a riff on a brisket to make it a Los Angeles style brisket, or I call it the LA style brisket, coming your way. My Los Angeles style brisket starts with the traditional Texas style rub of salt and pepper. You guys have seen me do this many times where I use kosher salt, black pepper, and I add my little riff with some white pepper and some celery seed, and sometimes I put some granulated garlic to go with it to make kind of a Texas style SPG. On this side is the riff that I use for Los Angeles style brisket. It's got a couple of iconic Los Angeles ingredients. The first one, of course, being this ubiquitous Sriracha or rooster sauce. This one is found around the world now, but this is a company that was founded in Los Angeles. They have a very big plant in Irwindale, California, and they do offer free tours. It's a fantastic tour to see millions and millions of pounds of product being made here. This is a very unique company. The label here is in 5 different languages. The gentleman who owns this, his name is David Tran. And he was one of the people in Vietnam who fled the country to come to America. And the ship that took him here was a Taiwanese freighter. And the ship was called Huy Fong. So that's why this is called the Huy Fong Foods Company. And the rooster actually is his birthday year. He was born in the year of the rooster. So this iconic sauce is what I use in my riff on LA brisket, because no one can go in LA without one of these bottles sitting in their kitchen. It's more common than ketchup in Los Angeles. Second item here is a little bit of the flavors, because we have such a melting pot of people from Mexico, Asia, Philippines, China, Singapore, all over. So you'll notice that in Los Angeles, a lot of the flavors involve some kind of chili. I got paprika, chili, cayenne pepper. We've got a lot of like what I call sour flavors in LA. And this is an example of a citric acid, which is fruit acid, which makes things very sour. This is one of my favorite soups. It's a Filipino soup called sinigang. Sinigang is a soup that you make with pork or chicken. Lime, dehydrated lemon or lime in it makes the soup very, very tart. Very similar to like tom yum soup. So spicy and tangy flavors are very, very common in Los Angeles. Now, you can go and buy citric acid here from the store. It comes in a white powder like this. It's a very tart product. You can also find citric acid or dehydrated lime in products such as this one here. This is the famous Tajin from Los Angeles. So you never can go out to Dodger Stadium and have like a mango without sprinkling some Tajin on it. It's T-A-J-I-N, but it's actually Tajin. This is a product that was invented in Mexico. I think founded in Guadalajara in 1985 in Mexico. Essentially just 3 ingredients. Number 1, it's got chili in it, lime powder, and salt. And what is nice about this thing is it's already got 3 kinds of wonderful flavored chilies in it, including chili de árbol, guajillo, and pasilla chili. So if you have one of these things, you don't have to go and buy all these other chilies to mix it. So in this episode, I'm going to show you guys a shortcut episode. You don't even have to buy any of this kind of a soup mix in it. You don't even have to buy the citric acid, because this ingredient already has it. There are a couple of different brands in Los Angeles. Tajin by far is the most popular one in America. So I'm going to go with Tajin. Badia also sells one of these similar chilies. Similar flavor. It's just 3 ingredients, some lime or lemon powder, or citric acid in this case, with some chili and some salt. So here's the overview of the ingredients. I'm going to show you guys how we do a riff now, mix up the ingredients. Meantime, I'm going to show you guys how Tajin is used. Any kind of fruit is good. You sprinkle some on your mango, absolutely wakes up the flavor. Super duper on watermelon, pineapple, pretty much on anything. This is a kind of a magical substance. It's gonna be really, really good as a brisket rub. Gives it a fantastic, wonderful chili flavor with a little bit of citric, kind of make your lips pucker up. It is my little riff on a California style Los Angeles brisket. Start with half a cup of salt, about the same amount, and a little bit more of black pepper, about a tablespoon of celery seed. Adjust it up or down accordingly. Some people don't like celery seed, so no use celery seed if you don't like it. And just about 1 teaspoon of white pepper. So, and that's my standard brisket rub here. Now we do the riff on it. Add a little bit of garlic powder. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. And about half a cup of this. More or less depending on whether you like this or not. Now you can also use these ingredients such as citric acid. You can use another brand. You can use some soup mix from the Filipino store, Asian market, from Ranch 99. Or you can just go ahead and buy the Tajin. The Tajin is a lot more convenient. You can also go buy out your chili, make your own chili rub, but that's too much work. So I like simple, you know me. I'm cheap and lazy, so that's how I do it. The Sriracha will be applied as a schmear later on when we trim the brisket. So we'll save that for later. This rub is really good for everything. The Tajin is used on a lot of times on fruit. You can make a mango lana. You can make drinks with it, cocktails. So it's really, really very versatile. And I always have a bottle of it laying around the house. This is a USDA prime Angus brisket, about 17 pounds. We're gonna show you guys how to do a backyard trim on it. Super simple. This is trimming for yield. So if you run a restaurant or you'll be cooking for your buddies, this is how you trim it. Take it out of the package carefully. Once you get it out of the package, be very careful and throw away this purge here. This is the liquid here. A lot of pathogens are in here. Never wash your brisket in the sink because you end up contaminating the whole sink with the pathogens. There's a link in my video description for you if you don't believe me and you want to read some of the USDA information about that. I've covered this many times, but you guys always tell me to go ahead and repeat how to select and how to trim a brisket. So I'll just go quickly through the basics here. When you buy a brisket, always buy the best grade you can. More than 3 grades of beef in America. You've known of the prime, choice, and select grades. And there's 5 grades underneath that called cookie cutter, canner, utility, and so on. And those are typically not found in the store. This one is a prime brisket. So it's really got hopefully good marbling, good flavor, good tenderness. And the way you buy a brisket, you buy it based on 4 criteria. Size, symmetry, striation, marbling. Marbling you can see from here. This is a prime. You can see the marbling is gorgeous here. And the striations are the same thing but going lines across the meat. I'm going to do a backyard trim. So I'm going to use a knife here. This is a Del Strong Quantum. Nice folks at Del Strong send me this knife. I have another one of my videos. I believe it's the Chinese ribs char siu video that we're doing a giveaway. But you can find this on my Amazon store in the link in the description below. And if you want to get your own Del Strong knives. These are wonderful knives. They give me a full set with a slicer, a chef knife, and then a boning knife and a santoku. What I'm doing now is I'm just trimming off any excess fat, putting my hand underneath the brisket to create a little bowl, and I'm trimming off all the silver skin, trimming off the fascia from the meat here, trimming off some of the excess fat so that when I put the rub on, the rub is going to be able to touch the protein instead of touching the fat. So when the fat renders off, the rub will fall off. So in this case, the rub will be right on the meat itself. So there's some scalding going on here and on this side here. So this is when the carcass was washed. So it's not really bad meat, but if you want, you can just trim it off. I'm just going to trim off the edge. You can see this side is kind of scalded, but this side is kind of red. Nothing wrong with that. That's how the carcasses are fabricated at a production plant. As I was trimming the brisket, I changed my mind because the brisket had a lot of fat between the fat cap and then the point muscle and the flat muscle. As I mentioned to you, this is a full packer brisket. So the full packer has a point muscle where the burn ends come from, and then the flat muscle where the lean comes from. So when you go to Texas and you order brisket, they serve you this part called the lean. this part called the fatty. Because I had a lot of fat between the two layers, I knew that I would not get a lot of bark on the point muscle, which is the burn ends where I like. So I decided to kind of cut some of the meat off here so that I'll get nice crust here, bigger burn end. This piece here, I'm gonna save for my a new channel I'm starting. I guess you guys like my curry recipes a lot. I have hundreds of curry recipes in my head waiting to come out. So I'm gonna be starting soon a kind of like a curry subset to my barbecue channel. I call it the Harry Curry channel or something. Some of this extra meat can be used to make curry or beef stew, and it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. So I changed my mind. I told you I was gonna do a backyard trim. We're gonna do some a modified competition trim. We're not gonna inject, but we're gonna trim it competition style so we can get maximum burn ends. And some of the excess meat here, I'm gonna use to make some beef stew or curry with it for another episode. Since you guys like my curry videos here. This one I'm going to cut into little cubes and use it in another recipe. So here's the brisket finally trimmed. This is probably good enough for now. I'll just do some cleanup trim on this side here. There's some scalded meat on this side here. I'll just trim it off. This is a beautiful prime brisket. You can see how marbled it is. Beautiful marbling here. Not terribly complicated to do. We'll put a rub on and throw it on the smoker. We're ready to put the rub on now. I'm going to put a little bit of a smear. I'm going to use a little bit of this product here. You can use soy sauce, or I have just a little bit of fish sauce, maybe 1 tablespoon just to wet the surface. This will not taste like fish, but it's got a lot of natural MSG in it. And that's what I'm trying to get onto my brisket here. A bit of natural MSG from the fermented fish. A bit of Sriracha, Usda hot sauce. A bit of spicy note to the food. You're not going to taste it after it's cooked, but gives a nice hint of heat. I'm going to do both sides for a change since I have my point muscle here. A little bit of fish sauce. And you guys might think this is weird, but when you taste the final result, you'll be surprised. Pass on the rub. Do I always season the fat cap? Yes, you can season the fat cap if you like. Just put a light dusting here. I'm going to butcher paper wrap this anyway, so getting a little bit of flavor on the fat cap. It's not bad. Alright, brisket ready to go. Let's put our LA style brisket in the smoker now. A couple of chunks of wood. Cut the brisket, put it on. So, ready to go. Alright, we had the first hour spraying the LA brisket here. Let's take a look at the brisket. I know you guys want to know the temperature. Still pretty low. You have to wait until it hits about between 150 to about 165 before we wrap. The crust is coming along nicely. Let's slice the brisket. This is the LA style brisket. I'm going to use my Strong knife here. It's a Shogun series. Beautiful knife. Thanks to the folks at Shogun for sending them to me to use. I'm going to cut away the point first. So, alright, you can take a look at it here. Looks pretty good. Nice and tender. Taste a piece from this side. Really good brisket. Nice bark. Salty, smoky, peppery. A little bit of a citrus hint. Citric acid or the dehydrated lime from the Tajin. Very good flavor. Moist. Very tender. Great tasting brisket. Burn end here. A nice soft one here. Looking good. The burn end is really good. I think I like always when I eat a brisket, the burn end always tastes better. The point is very good also. I mean, sorry, the burn end, the point is really tasty. The flat is also really good. Nice, beautiful smoke ring. You can see the bark crust. Looks pretty good. Little LA style brisket for you to try at home when you want. So now that I'm done tasting it, it's really good brisket. Super simple to make. Not a lot of work, just some good barbecue rub, and add some Tajin, then give it the citrusy, spicy, chili, lime flavor, a little bit of tanginess, and then you add your little Sriracha as the smear, and you're all set. You got 2 iconic LA flavors in your brisket. So for those of you who want to try my LA brisket, give it a go and let me know what you think. Now that I'm done tasting, okay, let's give him a shot here. Okay, he's waiting. You ready to go, Beans? Okay. Sit. All right, so here's the LA style brisket beans. It's got a little bit of LA flavors like Sriracha and Tajin. A little bit spicy, a little bit tangy. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is the flat, and that's the point. Like me, he went for the point first. So the dog knows his brisket. Definitely, that's for sure. Before you pack it away, like I have, you wanna give it just a little touch of Tajin so that people know that this is a special brisket. That is a LA style. Just a little chili, lime, citrus topping on top, and makes this brisket really, really special. When people eat it, they will have the flavor of Los Angeles with the Sriracha and a little bit of Tajin mixed in. All right, I'm here with the guys. These are the superheroes of Diamond Bar who take care of the neighborhood. They got some Celebrity Daddy love, and we got them some brisket. There's a whole hog in there also. I cook a whole hog.
Wow.
And there's going to be a LA style brisket and a Texas style brisket. So you got two kinds of brisket today. All right, man.
Social distance.
Enjoy, guys.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks for joining me on this video for LA style brisket. I want you guys to please stay home and stay alive during these trying times. Until the next video, we will see ya.